What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Nobody. This film is directed by Ilya and Naishuller. Now, before we begin, if you like this channel, awesome, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next. If you like this channel, awesome, hit that like button, as well as commenting below any video that you watch, including this one. So I've come to the conclusion that Derek Kolstad, who's actually known as the writer for, of course, John Wick and now Nobody, should basically keep doing these types of movies because apparently it works. It really does, because not only did they find somebody like Keanu Reeves, who was a kick-ass person in John Wick as well as The Matrix, now he's found Bob Odenkirk, which is the least idealistic person for an action movie. And the reason I say that, somebody like Matt Damon was a very much a younger person at the time, but Bob Odenkirk, of course, is known for doing Mr. Show with David Cross. He was also a stand-up comedian. He worked on a few television shows. And then he went on to greater fame with, of course, playing Saul Goodman in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, as well as doing some other dramas for like Steven Spielberg and whatnot. So Bob Odenkirk has become a very interesting actor, doing very interesting things, I guess you could say. And the last thing I expected him to do was become an action superstar, and to have it fully work like it does in this movie, because he's a guy that you do not want to mess with, and he will take down anybody. He'll do it, the chew bubblegum and take names without chewing bubblegum, and it's a very crazy thing to watch. And as you expect, this movie is about a guy named Hutch Mansell, who of course is played by Bob Odenkirk. He's a very schlubby individual. He works out every day, but he also goes to a very dead-end job that's basically run by his wife's brother-in-law and so on and so forth, or his wife's brother and stuff like that. And he has a routine. Him and his wife don't get along. His kids don't really respect him outside of his daughter, and it's just a very typical routine. We see it go over and over and over each day. There's something that he does that he feels like a very schlubby guy. But the funny thing happens one night, and it's been in the trailer. He gets robbed at gunpoint, and they take something of his, and he goes after him. And then there's the bus sequence that we see in the trailer, and he kicks a lot of ass in that. And he also does something where he messes up the brother of a high level informant for Russia or whatever. And in essence, it's basically the story of a guy that did something in his past where he basically was a kick-ass individual, and these people try to take him on, realizing that they've made the wrong choice. And as we see in the trailer, you don't want to mess with this guy named Hutch Mansell, this guy who's played by Bob Odenkirk, because he will mess you up. And that's in essence the story. It's about people taking on Hutch Mansell, and Hutch Mansell just doing everything in his power to make them suffer. And like I said, seeing Bob Odenkirk in this movie just kind of uplifts my spirits, because it was not what I was expecting him to ever do in his life, and he totally owns it in the role. He is so much fun to watch in this movie. But yes, the story has a lot of contrivances. It has a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense, that how this movie kind of progresses as it goes along. It feels like there's a lot of stuff that was cut out. There's a lot of stuff missing to make it an hour and 30 minutes. So hopefully like there's a director's cut or something like that. But the funny thing that happens, and this happened in the original John Wick movie, which also had a lot of issues itself, if you have a lead actor or actress that is strong enough to take on a role like this and able to deliver with panache and charisma and just badassery, I mean, look at, of course, Charlize Theron in Atomic Blonde. It doesn't matter the plot contrivances. It doesn't matter the plot problems. As long as they deliver, it works, and it totally works here. Yeah, I mean, from the minute go, there's something different about this guy. He's kind of putting on an act. He's trying to be a father figure and a husband and a father and so on and so forth. But it's a movie that once it starts ramping up, and once you start seeing kind of what he is capable of and how these people try to go after him and what he's able to do, you're completely on board. You have a complete smile on your face, and it's so much fun to watch. He is so much fun in this movie, and I can't wait to see if there's a sequel to this movie, to see how much farther they can go with Bob Odenkirk. And like I said, to just see a guy just be able to go from, being a calm, collective individual to being a guy that just becomes Mr. Badass it's always a fun time at the theater. And of course, he has a brother who's played by RZA, who he talks through the speaker system and stuff like that. And then he has a father who, of course, is played by Christopher Lloyd. and of course Doc Brown. Now, I won't give anything away, but Christopher Lloyd almost steals this movie, and he is very awesome in this movie, and you will see why, or if you haven't already seen, you know why he's awesome in this movie. And for a guy who's like in his 80s, late 90s, I love Christopher Lloyd. It's gonna be sad to see him go one day, but you know, Christopher Lloyd's one of those actors that just kind of completely does anything and everything. He doesn't care, and it's just fun to watch him do the things he does in this movie. But this movie is just, it has great action, it has great set pieces, it's very, very violent, which you come to expect, and it completely delivers on why Bob Odenkirk has completely transformed to one of these actors that has become like a true star in his own right. He's a guy that you never expected from his early days as, you know, Mr. Show to become a true fully fledged action star, and it's beautiful. It really is. The story is just, it's fun to watch. His ass kicking is fun to watch, and it's a really beautiful thing. And that bus set piece, I wish they hadn't ruined it in the trailer, but they kind of had to set it up a little bit. Is one hell of an action set piece, and it's brutal and violent, and it goes to places. And the bad guys in this movie are a little one note, and they don't really have much to do in the movie. But they need to give the Hutch character something in the way of an antagonist to keep him going forward. So, but with that said, that's gonna be my take on this movie, Nobody. Like I said, if you like John Wick, if you like Atomic Blonde, definitely give this movie a shot. If you've already seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's it. You know, like I said, I loved it. So, but there you go. That'll be my take. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the movie. Did you like it? Did you not like it? All that good stuff. But if you like what you see on this channel, hit that subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, see you guys on the next video. Peace out.